Hello, and welcome to this video about how to promote your entrepreneurial programs, services, and events with LaunchEZ. At LaunchEZ, we help organizations that support entrepreneurs improve access to resources. Organizations will come to LaunchEZ to create a profile about their program or service. They also come to add events to our entrepreneurial event calendar. Then we set up white-labeled websites for organizations that want to take the data that we've collected and share it with the entrepreneurs that they serve. So it's a way for organizations in an entrepreneurial community to work together to share all of the resources that the community has to offer to entrepreneurs. Okay, so let's get started and show you how to add and manage your own profile and events with LaunchEZ. The first thing you want to do, if you haven't already done so, is to go to the Join page and create a LaunchEZ account. We ask for just a little bit of information, first and last name, email, and password. If you're joining to add a resource or event, make sure you check off the resource provider option. Once you've completed this form, you'll be able to send the information we need to add your organization to the system and make you the administrator. Once you have an account and have been set up, you can go to the Login option to log into LaunchEZ. If you've been made an administrator of an organization, you should see a link to the organization's dashboard. Click on that link. Today I'm going to cover the resources and the events sections of the dashboard. Let's start with the resources side. You'll notice that Reset here has 3 resource listings: co-working, their accelerator program, and their mentor network. Each of these have their own purpose, and so we list them separately so that entrepreneurs can get the specific information they're looking for in their search. For each of the resources, you can view the profile by clicking on the name. It'll open up in a new tab. Here you can preview what your profile will look like. If you need to make changes, you can click the Edit Profile link. Most of the fields on this page are self-explanatory, but let's go over a few of them. The short description is used in areas where we don't have a lot of space on the screen, so try to keep it to 1 sentence. The value proposition could be one of the trickiest fields that we have. The idea is to communicate the value of your program or service while also giving the user something they can qualify themselves with. For example, this value proposition shows that this co-working space is in the Hartford area. Complete any of the contact information that makes sense for your program or service. Sometimes location is important and other times it's not. Use your judgment. Notice the name and the website URL we've used here. Reset Co-working, and the URL is the specific co-working page on their website. This gets entrepreneurs right to the information they're looking for. Select the appropriate resource type. Essentially, a program is a free or subsidized service, whereas a service provider is an organization that charges for their services. Choose network if your organization's main purpose is to connect entrepreneurs to other people and resources. You can enter in a description as well as a list of services. The criteria should be completed if there are specific requirements needed for the entrepreneur to use your service or program. The 4 special groups should only be marked yes if they are a requirement to use your program or service. Click the Update Resource Profile to return to the dashboard. The Change Image link can be used to update your logo. We can also help get this into the proper format if you just email or call us. The Manage Categories page is one of the most important. You'll notice that we will have this on the Events page as well. The Phases portion is where you can choose the phase of the business that you serve. We don't want to show resources to entrepreneurs that are not for their phase of business. The 6 phases are the idea phase, when someone just has an idea and they're doing some preliminary research. The planning stage or the planning phase is when they're working to turn that idea into a business model. The build phase is where they're actually building out their product or service and creating their business entity. The validate phase is when they're in the market and they're getting those initial customers to validate their business model. The invest phase is when they're putting money and profits back into the company and growing it. And the scale phase is when they've proven that an investment will yield a good return and they're out seeking additional investments to scale their business further. The needs section is where you identify the needs that your program or service addresses. Choose all that apply, but make sure to read the descriptions and don't choose categories that are not part of your core mission. You'll notice that we have many categories and subcategories to choose from. When done, click the green button at the bottom of the screen. Now let's cover the events. Click the pencil icon next to the resource that you want to associate the events with. This screen is where you manage your events for that resource. You'll notice a listing of all the events that you have in the system. You can add new events 2 ways, one at a time or automatically import from an existing calendar. To add an individual event, click Add New Event. Here again, the fields are pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go over a few. You have the title, summary, and description. Please make sure to select a location. We have many in here already, but if it's not already in here, use the Add New option to create a new location. Application periods show up on their own page, so you can use this system to put in an application window. Say, for example, if you're accepting applications for an award or for an accelerator or incubator program. Enter the start and end date and time, the URL where they can learn more information, and then click the Add Event button. Most calendar systems like Google or Meetup will have a feed system that's called the ICS format. If your calendar has this, you can enter the details on the feed settings page. We will import your events early each morning and automatically update them if the information changes. You can edit an event by clicking on the name in the list. The fields are the same for the edit as they were when we added an event. The Categories button gives you the ability to categorize events so they can be more easily found. Let's look at the calendar in action for a moment to see how this affects the user experience. Notice that the user can select the type of event, either learn, solve, or connect, what business phase they're in, or the category they're interested in order to filter the results of what they're looking for. For example, if I want to see events where I could connect with someone with industry experience, I could select that, click Apply, and get just those events. So take the time to categorize your events. Notice that the events are not automatically categorized when they're imported with a feed. You'll have to log in to do that. This concludes this video. If you have any questions, please contact us at launchez.com. Also, if you'd like to add a LaunchEZ resources or events section to your website, make sure that